Porsche, who was mostly responsible for the Beetle, started a small company in the 1930s, not knowing that the company would be so big. Ferdinand Porsche founded the company known as Porsche. Porsche started it as a small company in Stuttgart. Young Ferdinand was born in Masterdorf, a part of Austria-Hungary at the time. Porsche showed a strong passion towards mechanical work very early on in his life. When Porsche turned 18, he got his first job as an electrician in 1893. Turn to the year 1940, and Porsche and his son Ferry produced their first car, the 356. His first model similar to the former Beetle design, but with a flat 4 air-cooled engine in the rear. At this time, Mr. Porsche noticed that he could get his car off to the racetrack and onto the cold roads. Later in September of 1964, Porsche comes out with their next sports car, the 901. The new version of the 356 isn't actually that different, it's just more. With a flat 6 in the back, except for the 901 wasn't just a cooler design, but more practical for the driver. After getting sued by Peugeot for having a 0 in the middle of the car name, they switched it to the 911. The new 911 shows for the first time at a Frankfurt Motor Show in 1963 and goes to the dealerships a year later. The 911 makes 130 horsepower and has 119 foot-pounds of torque. The 911 was a fun sports car for the family because of its rear back seats. Porsche decided to make a convertible configuration of the car, but they couldn't because American cars were getting stricter safety regulations around rollovers. Porsche's idea did not go to waste because their solution was to make a new category of cars that Porsche called the Targa. Their new Targa had a glass roof which you could take on and off, and stronger upper roll bars for safety. The roof could be fitted in the trunk. Porsche made the Targa until 1989. In 1966, Porsche makes their cars faster by adding the 911S to their car series. The 911S had 30 more horsepower and could do 140 miles an hour on a good day. The S model, which was a big hit back then, and they still make the S models today. Porsche has won sports car championships, endurance championships, hill climb events, and rally races. For Porsche's 10-year anniversary, Porsche unveiled the new 911 Carrera RS. The Carrera was the first Porsche to ever come with a spoiler. It had a 2.7-liter, 210 horsepower engine, and it was very fast. Very fast meaning the fastest 911 ever. Now with a new Porsche called the 911 Turbo, it could get up to 260 horsepower, and it was the fastest car in the entire German auto industry. In 1989, Porsche decided to remake the 911 and make it into a 964. The 964 is now marketed as a Carrera. It had a rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive version of it too. Even though it's called the 964, it's still a 911. In 1995, the 964 is already out of the showrooms and the new 993 came in. Porsche now upgraded to a twin-turbo engine and had 400 horsepower. In 1999, Porsche decided to improve their cars. They added new everyday race cars to the mix that were meant for the roads. These cars were lighter and more powerful than the 911. This is when the Porsche decided to create a new racing series called the GT3. The car dominated the market, and all 300 were sold very quickly. The new GT2 car, named after the GT2 racing series, was even faster than the 911 once again. When Porsche released the new GT3 RS, it was even lighter than before. It didn't have rear seats, sound insulation, and air conditioning. The GT3 RS was a car that you needed experience to buy. The new GT2 RS followed not long after with 620 horsepower beast that was even lighter than the GT3 RS. In 2017, Porsche builds its 1 millionth 911 and they keep it in their headquarters museum, which you can visit the next time you go to Stuttgart, Germany. According to Porsche, 70% of all the 911s are still on the road today. Porsche is one of the most iconic sports car brands in the world, and they continue to dominate the market. That's all we can do today. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye!